So, you're getting ready for a big renovation. Awesome. You're probably picturing those beautiful new floors, or maybe some custom-built cabinets. But here's the thing. All that amazing work creates a hazard you might not even be thinking about. In this explainer, we're going to give you a straightforward guide to wood dust safety, so your dream project stays a dream and doesn't turn into a health nightmare.
It's so easy to see sawdust as just a mess, right? Something you sweep up at the end of the day. But the real danger isn't that pile of shavings on the floor. It's the microscopic dust, the stuff that's so fine it hangs in the air for hours after the sawing stops. It's the dust that's so small you're breathing it in without even realizing it. So here's our game plan. We'll start by digging into what makes this invisible dust so tricky. Then we're going to follow it inside the body and see the damage it can do, both right away and over the long haul. But don't worry, we're not just going to leave you with the scary stuff. We'll wrap up with a simple, practical safety playbook to keep you and everyone in your home safe. Okay, so what really makes this fine dust so dangerous is its ability to just linger. It's not like heavy sawdust that pretty much drops straight to the floor. No, these particles are so light they can float around a room for hours, easily spreading through your entire home. This means long after the tools are packed away, you could still be breathing the stuff in with every single breath. All right, let's follow one of these tiny, invisible troublemakers on its journey. The second you inhale it, your body sounds the alarm. It sees it as a foreign invader and it launches a full-on defense. And that's really where the trouble begins, starting right at your body's front door. That first immediate reaction, it's called rhinitis. And you've probably felt it. You're around some sanding and suddenly your nose starts running, you're sneezing, your throat feels all scratchy. That's not just some random allergy. That's a physical response. It's your body literally screaming, "Hey, I'm being overloaded with dust here." Think of it as the very first warning light on your dashboard. Now, if you keep ignoring that warning light, you're heading towards something way more serious: occupational asthma. See, some woods, like Western red cedar, are what we call sensitizers. Your body can actually learn to be allergic to them. And here's the critical part. Once your body flips that switch, it's a one-way street. From then on, even a tiny amount of that specific wood dust can trigger a really bad asthma attack. Now, let's zoom in, way in, at the microscopic level. These wood dust particles aren't smooth little specks. They're sharp, they're jagged, and when you breathe them deep into your lungs, all the way down into those delicate little air sacs, the alveoli, they're basically making thousands of tiny little cuts. Scientists call them microtraumas. So what happens when your lungs have to heal thousands of these little cuts over and over again for years? Well, your body creates scar tissue, and that process is called pulmonary fibrosis. The problem is, scar tissue in your lungs isn't flexible like healthy tissue. It's stiff. It makes your lungs less able to expand, which means you permanently lose your ability to take a full, deep breath. Simple things, like walking upstairs, can leave you completely out of breath. You can really see the whole story right here. It all starts so small, with just a sneeze or a runny nose. But then, in the short term, that can escalate to asthma, wheezing, tightness in your chest. Stick with it long term, and you're looking at chronic bronchitis, that constant nasty cough. And the final stop? Permanent, irreversible damage. A loss of breath that you can never get back. But believe it or not, the physical scarring of your lungs isn't even the worst-case scenario. There's an even more serious long-term risk we have to talk about. And it's this. The link between certain wood dusts and cancer isn't a theory. It's a scientifically proven fact. And that's not just my opinion. That quote is from the International Agency for Research on Cancer. They're the global authority. In Group 1, that's the highest possible risk category. It's reserved for things they know, without a doubt, cause cancer in humans. So what else is in that group with wood dust? Well, take a look. Wood dust is right there, in the same official danger category as asbestos and tobacco smoke. When you see it side by side with those two, it really hits home, doesn't it? We all take the dangers of asbestos and smoking seriously. We absolutely need to have that same level of respect for wood dust. The risk is particularly high with hardwoods. We're talking about common ones like oak, beech, and ash. The particles from these woods are just the right size to get caught in all of the little nooks and crannies inside your nasal passages. And over years of that constant irritation, it can actually cause the cells to mutate and lead to these rare but very serious cancers. And the crazy thing is, it doesn't even stop with what you breathe. Wood dust can cause a whole host of other issues that affect your skin, your eyes, pretty much your whole body. For instance, when that fine dust mixes with sweat on your skin, it can cause a painful rash called dermatitis. Or it can get trapped under your eyelids and physically scratch the surface of your eye. Some exotic woods even have natural toxins that can make you feel like you have the flu if you inhale their dust. And here's a really big one for modern renovations. When you cut manufactured materials like MDF or plywood, you're not just creating wood dust, you're also releasing formaldehyde vapor, which is another known chemical hazard, into your home.
So this brings up a really common question, one you might be thinking right now. Okay, but can't our bodies just handle this? Don't our lungs just, clean themselves out over time?
And the answer is yes, to a point. Your lungs have this amazing self-cleaning system with tiny little hair-like fingers called cilia that are constantly sweeping gunk up and out. But here's the problem. During a renovation, the sheer amount of dust is like a tidal wave. The system gets totally overwhelmed, just can't keep up. And when that system breaks down, those sharp little particles can get lodged deep in your lungs and stay there for life.
Okay, I know that was a lot of pretty heavy information, but listen, the goal here is not to scare you out of doing your renovation. The goal is to empower you to do it the right way. So now let's switch gears and get into the solutions. This is your practical, step-by-step playbook for a safe project.
A truly effective safety plan has two layers. The first one, and by far the most important, is what we call source capture. This is all about stopping the dust the instant it's made, before it even has a chance to get into the air. The second layer, your backup plan, is personal protection. This is your last line of defense.
So, those engineering controls, that's always the best way to go. We're talking about hooking a powerful vacuum directly up to your sander or your saw. It sucks the dust away at the source. This is so much more effective than just trying to clean the air later. Then you have your PPE, your personal protective equipment. A good mask is an absolutely essential backup for anything that first system might miss. So here it is, your non-negotiable safety checklist. First, a HEPA-certified vacuum. A regular old shop vac is not good enough. It'll just suck up the fine particles and shoot them right back out into the air. Second, you need a real respirator. Look for one that's rated N95 or even better, P100. That flimsy little paper mask you might have, it offers almost zero protection against this stuff. And finally, and this is crucial, the fit. A mask is worthless if it doesn't form a perfect seal against your face. Any gaps make it useless. So, we'll leave you with this final thought. A renovation is an amazing, exciting time, but it's also a serious event for the health of your home and your family. Now you know that the dust isn't just a mess to be cleaned up. It's a real, measurable risk. And now you have the power to control it. So the question is, will you ever look at that cloud of sawdust the same way again?